Yeah. Oh yeah. It's right here on go. This one here is lit. This right here is special. Yeah. This one for the archive right here. A 1 year Allah. You already know what it is. A 1 year Allah. To get ready to get it in. UPK. Forever in a day. About a cup. I forgot cup. That's crazy. I done seen it all. You can't amaze me. It ain't enough money you can pay me. To make me sell my soul, you can't play me. You can't living in a world that's crazy. I done seen it all. You can't amaze me. It ain't enough money you can pay me. To make me sell my soul, you can't play me. You can't play me. I'ma come through with the chopper. No, it ain't Burger King, but it's the Whopper. Yeah. I'm the maintenance man with the street sweeper. I'ma come by your block and mop up. You lacking my style, you wanna be me, don't try to attach it. Yeah. When I come through with the ratchet, I'm the quarterback, you the receiver, you catch it. Yeah, I'm toting them big guns, the ones with the booze on them. I'm a handyman. I fix the problem, go to your house and put the tubes on them. Yeah, he gon' learn to do it the right way. Yeah. It's I.S.U.P.K all day. Yeah. AR-15, split your wing, the Draco give you a ball fade. It's really the game. Don't get caught up in the fame. I'm taking aim when you step on my name. I sacrifice my life for this truth. We ain't the same. Yeah. I'm giving you words of wisdom. Stop the excuse, being a victim. You say you love your brother, but you tricked him. Robbing for his bag and you stick them. You get no applause. You get no reward for killing your brother, man. You say you're tired of oppression and turn around and put the gun on the other man. Yeah. Life is warfare. Destroy my enemy. Give him death with a pallbearer. Release the curses. Worse than the Jewish Holocaust. I'm living in a world that's crazy. I done seen it all, you can't amaze me. It ain't enough money you can pay me. To make me sell my soul, you can't play me. You can't living in a world that's crazy. I done seen it all, you can't amaze me. It ain't enough money you can pay me. To make me sell my soul, you can't play me. You can't play me. I could get you with a knife or a pistol. Yeah. Instead, you dangling at the end of my sentence like a participle. Yeah. I don't have a price, I can't be bought. I'll never sell out, I can't get caught. I got tons of money in my vault. If you don't comprehend, it ain't my fault. Driving straight down the road in my own lane, I ain't swerving, kid. Yeah. I'ma say it and stand on it and do it like I always did. Yeah. I got the chopper in the trunk with a hit list. I'm moving around so fast, you aiming at me, I'm making you miss. Yeah. I'm on the hit. I'm on the go, I stay lit. I could be at the bottom of the barrel and still make it to the top, cause I don't quit. I heard all the lies, I wasn't surprised, I even too sad. Yeah, people never tell the full story, just parts of it to make you look bad. Right, blood on my leaves, yeah, blood at the root, yeah, niggas hanging from trees, that strange fruit. It's more time and I know it, we're living in revelation, that's prophecy, ain't gonna stop it, be revealing the true color of Christ and America's hypocrisy. In a world that's crazy. I done seen it all, you can't amaze me. It ain't enough money you can pay me. To make me sell my soul, you can't play me. You can't live in a world that's crazy. I done seen it all, you can't amaze me. It ain't enough money you can pay me. To make me sell my soul, you can't play me. You can't play me. All right, clap it up, clap it up. All right, everybody, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the amazing, commanding General YAHANNA, the most controversial man in America. All right, why? Because he is a man who is upright in righteousness, who never dropped his sword and continues to raise up Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians out of the rut, right? Out of the rut and the poverty, mental poverty that we in, the mental depression that we're in, right? The mental disorders that we're in, to raise up our nation of Israel, the 12 lost tribes, right?
to be autonomous, right? To be a separate nation under God's laws, right? Under his ordinances, right? Under his commandments, in order to be a great nation, in order to set us apart and to set us back on top where we need to be, controlling the kingdom of heaven in a righteous manner. All right.
That's right.
And we owe that to a man who is unlike unto Moses, right? And that is Commanding General YAHANNA, all right, of the I.S.U.P.K. Since 1969, we have been grinding and raising up our people, man, the 12 lost tribes, all right? I want to get into today the title of today's lesson is
the lying disorder of Esau.
The lying disorder of Esau, right? Officer Yakaban is the one that got everything right. I'm saying I walked in here, was able to start at 2 o'clock. And that's how we're raised by Captain Yatazak. See what I'm saying? We don't need Captain Yatazak to be here or on the way here, on our backs, because he's raised us enough for us to be able to do it on time and do the right thing. All right. So big ups to Officer Yakaban for having everything ready to where class could start at 2 o'clock. Give a brother a hand, man. All right. That's the spirit of the Lord, and that's what the younger brothers, the young men and the troopers, that's what they're looking at. You know what I'm saying? So you keep that same zeal, all right? You did an excellent job, all right? Okay, so now the lying disorder of Esau. So before we go on, there are people who know who Esau is, but Esau is the progenitor of the Edomites, right? He is the father of the Edomites, which is all so-called white people on this planet. All so-called white people on this planet are the children of Esau. We don't care about them being Dutch. We don't care about them being Russian, right? They use names like I'm Polish, right? I'm Norwegian, I'm Italian. They are Edomites, right? All of them. All right, there's only 18 nations on the planet, and in the I.S.U.P.K, we're taught all the players that's in the Bible. And once you learn all the players in the Bible, that Bible becomes a fantastic read after that, because then you're able to know who's on the offense, who's on the defense. Well, guess what? Every nation, all 17 nations are against the children of Israel. Okay. And what I'm about to go over today is something that kind of puzzled me, kind of baffled me, but I wasn't surprised, right? Baffled is like confused, kind of confused, wow, but I wasn't surprised, right? So we're going to get into one of these titles, right? And let me see, should I just go ahead and text these to your phone so you can have them on your phone? Okay, we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and do that, and I'll go ahead and get them ready for you right now. Send those off so you can be able to start reading them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how many is going to go the first time, because I sent a lot of them, right?
Sir.
Okay, but the majority of them you should be able to get. All right, let's see if all of these go. It's like 17 of them. All right. There go your name right there, Yahahanna. All right. So there's only there's a limit of seven attachments that went. All right. There's 7 attachments that went. So we'll start with those 7. Once we get, if we even pass those 7, you know what I'm saying? Then I'll read the rest from my phone. All right. So now, in the scripture that I want to pull is Psalms. So if somebody could give me that. We're going to go to Psalms chapter 58, right? And we're going to start at verse, we're going to start at verse 2. We're going to read verse 2 and 3.
You want the scripture first, I don't want?
Yeah, we're going to start off with the scripture first, right? To set the backdrop to this, all right? And why Esau, who is all so-called white people, okay, I already went through that. You have to understand that a country, right, a city, a county, a state does not determine, or a landmass for that matter, or geographical location on the earth. It does not determine your race. It does not determine your nationality. Okay, although it could weigh in on your citizenship, right? But it's not your nationality. All right. So, for example, Mexicans stay in Mexico, right? They're not Mexicans because they stay in Mexico. They're Israelites through their bloodline, right? Some people that stay in Rome, they might call themselves Europe or whatever. They might call themselves Italians, right? There's no such thing as a white Italian. That's a joke, right? So that landmass or that geographical location does not determine one's nationality, right? It's their father's seed. And there's only 18 nations on the planet. If you don't know, then I suggest that you get in class, come to class, ask all the questions that you want, right? We're going to prove today that Esau, the father of all the white people on the planet, indeed has a mental disorder, a lying spirit and a mental disorder. All right, so we're going to get the scripture first, Bible Kashaf.
Khan. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness.
In heart what?
Ye work wickedness.
So when you see heart in the Bible, heart is your mind. So in your mind, Esau, right, because he's the wicked on the planet. Who has deceived so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians more than the so-called white man? More than Esau. Who has? I would like to know. Type it in. If you're in class live, type it in. Please give me someone who has robbed, stolen, and pillaged the Native American Indians more than the so-called white man. Please let me know. I want to know. All right. And I just got another precept waiting in the wings for that. I don't know whose book this is, but I'm finna precept it up. Okay. All right, so we got one right now. Okay. One, and we got Psalms. Give me just a second. Okay, so you can go ahead and read that scripture about Pashah.
Khan. Yea, weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
That's what he do, right? He weighs the violence of his hands in the earth, meaning he uses his sword, his military, right? He uses his sword, his military, to take over and attack and to seize property that's not his. That's what the so-called white man has done, and that's what the so-called white man is doing. It's the whole reason why he's in these different lands right now, right? Whether he's in Haiti, whether he's in Jamaica, right? He goes in and he does what to Haiti? What did he do to Haiti? He went in there because that oil is over there. They're rich. You know what I'm saying? Their land is rich. So they go over there and they assault and take everybody. They run games by going, what? Howdy. How you doing? They extend their hand, right? They extend their hand to try to be a cordial friend to you, right? When the white man is the oppressor. That's the reason why we live in the ghettos and I would say apartments, but we actually stay in compartments. We stay in compartments, meaning we're stacked on top of each other, right? We live in apartments compacted on top of each other. Right? Meanwhile, you have the wicked that live out in the suburbs, as they call it, right? And their house is far away from the next person's house. As a matter of fact, you have people who live on a ranch and they have different lambs and rams and bulls and cows and things like that. That's what the children of Israel had at first, right before they stole and pillaged the land. Now you got brothers and sisters who read the Bible, and when they see, oh, Abraham had farmland and he had this. In our mind, it's like, there's got to be some white folks, because I don't have no animals. We don't have no farm. We don't have chickens laying eggs, right? All we got is AR-15s and 223s and bullets and Negroes dying from gun violence in the neighborhood. So they put the Bible down because they figure they don't have nothing to do with them, but we don't have no land. We don't have no animals. We don't grow our things properly. Meanwhile, you got a set of people, right, blacks, Hispanics, who are trying to eat right, eat grass-fed this, right? So they have a knowledge of what's going on, but they don't have the opportunity to have a ranch and to have their field. I'm not talking about going outside in your backyard and planting some vegetables. And that's great, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about having a farmland, right? And we don't have that. You know why? We're going to prove that Esau, who was the father of the Edomites, of the white race today, the Luciferians, that's another word for the white race today, we're going to prove that he has a lying disorder, right? He has a mental disorder, a lying disorder. That's why you should not follow Esau, so-called white man, in nothing that he says or do. All right, continue to read.
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Who is estranged from the womb?
The wicked.
The wicked is, who is the wicked? Let's get some, since we got some people in here. Who is the wicked? When it says the wicked are estranged, go ahead. Somebody get a microphone. Is that the only microphone? Okay, yeah, pass that to the sister so when she speaks, make sure it's on, Baba Kusha. Okay, it's on. Go ahead.
The white race.
The white race. Give my hand. Listen, y'all. Listen. The courage, that's how you know we're at the end times. Because our women control a lot of the fear that's passed on to our little boys. And they don't want to tell you. You know, your mom used to get you ready for, for school and stuff like that, right? And what she tell you, she try to say, listen, son, you're going to have to get your mind right when you get this job. You got to go in there, be clean cut, and be careful what you say to them white folks, because this, that, and that. Our black women, Hispanic women today, they're not doing that today. You understand? They're not doing that, right? Right?
Don't hold this part, sis. Keep it.
Yeah. So they're not, telling us things to make us be fearful. All right, you go to that white man's job, you got to fit in now. You got to do, what's going on. We can either hide the truth or we can either expose the truth. When the I.S.U.P.K, we're going to expose the truth of what it is. Now, our sisters are now stepping up, stepping up and giving you the truth about what's really going on. Like the sister said, she know who the wicked is. Say it, and then teach your children as well. So we know who the wicked is. That don't mean we're going to act like them, but you have to identify your enemy. How you going to let the people seize your property, kill and ravish your people, then come back around and say, hey, everybody needs to calm down now. Everybody needs to get together. Stop. What's all the bickering and fussing about? The people fighting need to say, it's about you, slave master, who has a method to this madness, who has all of this crime going on, and we fight amongst each other. Now you're the judge sitting up high. You go to the courtroom, you're down there, and he's up here or she's up here, and yes, what seems to be the problem? I'm going to delegate authority. No, you don't need to judge Black, Hispanic, and Native American. Hold on just a second. You don't need to judge Black and Hispanic and negative people, Native American people. You need to judge your own people because Esau has failed miserably, okay, trying to judge and operate and rule over another people. He needs to worry about his own people and their own problems. Right. So I'm saying that's why what Martin Luther King did was devastating to us, because he did what? He integrated us back. And before we integrated, what did we have? Our own train station, our own bus lines, our own companies. We had our own everything that was separate from our enemy. The moment we integrated, because he had in his mind what? I want to sleep with white women. That's what he had in his mind, right? So he said what? Right. My people, I feel that I'm leading my people into a burning house. But before he said what? I have a dream. Yeah. What did he say? I'm gonna play. I'm bringing it out today. I'm gonna play what he played. I'm going to play live what he said, because people need to hear this. People need to hear it, and we're going to play it right now. Okay, we're going to play what Martin Luther King regretted saying. Right. This is why you have to roll with your own people. This is what he said. All right. This is exactly what he said. Listen to what he said. This is what he said.
I have a dream.
Uh-huh.
My 4 little children one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has in many forms turned into a nightmare. Now, I'm not one to lose hope. I keep on hoping. I still have faith in the future. But I've had to analyze many things over the last few years, and I would say over the last few months. I've gone through a lot of soul-searching and agonizing moments. And I've come to see that we have many more difficult days ahead, and some of the old optimism was a little superficial, and now it must be tempered with a solid realism. And I think the realistic fact is that we still have a long, long way to go, and that we are involved in a war on Asian soil.
Right after that speech, they shot him in his damn head. He said that I have a dream. He wanted little black boys and little white girls to be together holding hands and this and that and that. It sounds good. It really does. It sounds magnificent. It's pretty. The flowers come out, the doves start to fly around, and the magician pulls the rabbit out the hat, and everybody claps, and it's amazing.
We are the world, huh?
Right, exactly. Right. But then it turns into Michael Jackson looking at the white boy when he was singing We Are the World, and he was off key. He looked at the man, you know what I'm saying, but he held it in. All right, and this is not the joke or bring any pun intended to anything. This is reality. Even Martin Luther King realized that he was bringing his people into a burning house, that he was being used to bring his people to integrate us with our enemy. They are our open enemy. They have always been our open enemy. You know, it's almost Martin Luther King. That's why I got to play it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he even said, what I thought about earlier was a little bit superficial. It was a little bit superficial. I jumped the gun. And now that I think about it, I thought we was close, but we're actually a long way from coming together. But guess what? In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA, he says that we will always be a long ways away. We were never close, okay? And if you have any person from another nation, not just a so-called white man, coming to you trying to shake your hand, it is always a game, right? Because America gets their money off of the money that we spend on their beauty shops, on their restaurants, on their laundromats, right? On their convenience stores, right? It's all done on their, flea markets, right? We spend all of our money that never stays in our neighborhood roughly a couple of hours. Our money used to stay in our neighborhood a long time. Now it's a couple of hours, our money's gone. So what is a stimulus check? What is reparations? We don't have any businesses, right? We can't spend among ourselves. So they're gonna give us reparations. I don't care if they give everybody $7.1 billion. Give every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian $7.1 billion. You're gonna take all of that and go buy it in white people neighborhoods. And there's no money coming in. It's only money going out. They don't teach you that in school, how to balance checks, how to open up a trust account, how to open up life insurance, and how to pay each one the other, right? You just put it in the savings and your money goes away. You got a question?
Yeah, yes. Shalom, brother.
Go ahead.
Would you say that is why they destroyed Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Black Wall Street? Because you talk about we had businesses, and would that be the reason? Could you elaborate?
Right. Not only is that the reason, that's one of the main reasons. It wasn't just Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right.
We had Tulsa in New York. We had Tulsa in California. Then we had Tulsa in Chicago. Right? They destroyed and bombed. Some of they never went to war. They dropped bombs on Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here's the reason why. When Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people work together and we only deal economically together,
right?
At that particular time, we were on the rise. We were at our height. We were at our apex as far as business and economy. Meanwhile, America's history books say that was the Great Depression. I'm saying? So yes, they don't want us to work together. They don't want us to build together. That's why 2023, as people always say, if we open up a business, what are we going to say? Man, it's the first black so-and-so to ever have a business. So you mean to tell me it's 200 years and we still saying the first black this and the first black that? They just did it on Good Morning America.
Right.
And we are the first black co-host.
Wow.
I'm like, damn, they did it again. Like, white people think that's a good thing, but it really says that we haven't went nowhere. And we're still a long, long way from getting to where we want to go. One thing the slave master knows, there has to be a slave master and there had to be a slave. And a slave master don't respect the slave. A slave master respects his enemies. So you're going to be a slave or you're going to let him know that he's your enemy. Right? And speaking of that, real quick before I go into this, Martin Luther King was a follower and a disciple of Gandhi. And he went over in India and took the concept of the non-violent approach. So that's something about India, right? Gandhi had this, don't kill that cow. Don't you kill that roach on that wall. That's Uncle Willie. Don't you kill that fly out there. That's Aunt Bethel. So they don't kill nothing. So being a student under Gandhi, MLK took that and brought it over here to the Black Christian church. Now it's turned the other cheek. I'm gonna let you eat, pow, pow. Don't fight back. Let me tell you something. America know that you have to fight to get what you have. America, did they sit around at a round table and told the British to come and we're gonna talk this out? Is that how they got their independence? Does anybody know how America got its independence? What did they have to do? Go ahead.
Going to war with Britain.
They had to what?
Go to war with Britain.
They had to go to war. You have to fight. And can't nobody beat us at nothing. Literally, if you put a Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian and put them back to back in a boxing ring and tell everybody to jump in there from other nations and fight, it's going to be them same three people standing. Period. We're talking about Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson in his prime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, George Foreman or whoever else in their prime. If you just had the best of the best, Muhammad Ali, all them sitting around each other, couldn't nobody get in the ring and conquer nothing. What the white man gonna do outside the ring, hold on, but what do you guys want? No, I'm not getting in the ring. You can hear me from here. What do you guys want? You want a helicopter or you want that? No, we want you to leave us alone. We don't want you to give us anything. But space and time, you know what I'm saying, and peace. That's why the scriptures say that Esau, once he builds the kingdom of heaven, he will be eradicated off the face of the earth. That's what the scriptures say. Right? Yeah, they're going to be in the kingdom working. It won't be a white man. Listen, it won't be a Mexican man on a roof nowhere. It won't be a Mexican family in a strawberry field nowhere. It's going to be all Esau.
Right.
He's going to learn how to do it. Just real quick. And I feel sorry for him because I look at Undercover Boss, that show that comes on. And they have burger stands and stuff like that. The owner or the main man who started it all, he don't even know how to fix a damn burger. But then you got Clarence and Keisha who done been there for 25, 30 years who keeping his business afloat. But he don't know how to put salt on a burger. He don't even know nothing about throwing it out or nothing. Guess what? Esau gonna have to learn in that day. Because what was done to us gonna be done to him. And so he's not concerned for the love of us because he has an eternal hate forever. That's what the scriptures say. Another stuff I'm gonna pull up. He has an eternal hate for us forever, right? He's just worried about his judgment. He's worried about himself, right? All right. Okay, you got a question then we're gonna get into the definition of title, all right? Go ahead.
I'm glad you brought that out because the point I wanted to make was we just trying to teach our people how to defend against their tactics and their strategies. But our people act like we telling them to be the attackers instead of the defenders. Right.
Listen, and that's the main, that's all we're trying to tell our people, man. You know, is to beware of our enemies. And of course, Christianity says what? Love your enemies.
Right.
Not knowing what enemy that is. That's why you have to understand concept.
Right.
So when it says enemies, if anybody claims they know the Bible, everybody claims they read the Bible 3 or 4 times. Like church Christians, I read the Bible 3 or 4 times. All right, cool, no sweat. Then you would know that after the death of Solomon, there was a split in the kingdom, right? Some went under Rehoboam, other tribes went under Jeroboam, and they were split. Christ came, when he came back on the scene, he came to, the Son of Man come to get those that are lost and bring them together. And that was the whole point of Christ coming, to bring blacks and Hispanics back together, or the house of Judah and the house of Israel back together as one. That's the whole reason, not to bring, because we were treating each other like enemies. You know what I'm saying? The Pharisees didn't want the people that were scattered to come back in because they had never been to a Passover. They wasn't circumcised. You see what I'm saying? And so they felt like, well, they're not Israelites. Peter, you know what Peter did in the book of Acts? Peter didn't want to hang with the centurion or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Until he realized why. Because it was unlawful for a Jew to keep company or to go into another nation. But what did the Lord show Peter? Don't call nothing that's uncommon clean. Why? Because he wasn't talking about meat. He was talking about the men who were Israelites, who were devout men, who had a good reputation with the Jews, but they had never, like us, we would be considered Gentiles. We weren't born in the land of Israel. You know what I'm saying? I went to my first Passover about 6 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So before then, I did birthdays, Christmas and Thanksgiving or whatever that Gentiles and heathens did. And that's a problem with Israel. The children of Israel, once we get into captivity under our oppressor, we are sick with it. We just end up making covenants, right, with the heathens and following after their philosophies and their doctrines and their ideologies and their customs, when we're supposed to follow after what the Lord tells us to do and follow the high holy days. Anybody know the next high holy day coming up? Not officer. Anybody know the next high holy day that just passed?
Just passed?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. That's right. Get the sister in. Hanukkah. Right? Was that your first one? See that? Her I'm not gonna ask you your age, right? But that was her first one at her age. You see what I'm saying? And that white man's the devil, y'all. I said that for that to happen, because why? They don't give us any time off during Hanukkah. But their Christmas, you get all the time off ever. Passover, most Israelites lose their job. That's the moment they lose their job. And they take 4 or 5 days off to go and serve their Lord. They got to take time off. But Christmas, they give you time, 2 weeks off. And then meanwhile, right, the psychology, the disorder of our enemy is like what? Well, hey, it's a free country. You can do what you want to do and worship who you want to worship. But how come you're not giving me time off? Or you can take all the time off you need. Okay, cool, I'll be back in 5 days. You can go, yeah, you can be back in 7 days. But when you come back, you won't have a job. You see what I'm saying? So they want us to trim our ways. But they don't want to trim their ways. Go ahead and get ready for the next one.
And that shows that they don't really respect us. Let it be like a Jewish man or a Muslim, like that. Pretty much like the people that do like the Muslim culture, they would have no problem with them taking time off.
Right, exactly. That's a heavy point out because I stated earlier that a slave master has no regard for a slave. They only respect their enemies, and you can't move solo dolo. That's one of the other problems with Israel, right? You want to come in, not us. You want to come in, you want to hustle some of the truth, ear hustle it. Okay, I got it. Then you want to go out and put fringes on your shirt, t-shirt, which is, you don't put fringes on your t-shirt, no way. Because that's inner wear, right? That's not the border of your garment either. That's not where two seams come together. But nevertheless, you go out and you think you're doing your own thing. You're on your little John the Baptist tour. You got a little tour going on by yourself. Well, guess what? Just like our brother Kanye or Ye, whoever else, when they get ready, they're going to take you down. You know why? Because you're solo and you're by yourself. You got nobody with you. That's why we have to move as a unit, as a family, together, not solo. The scriptures say what? Gather together, O nation not desired. Right? Not go your separate ways. not break off into a fake Israelite group and do your own thing when you're still labeled in the end with a one West doctrine. Okay, let's get into the topic. All right, so the white man or our oppressor, what did I say it was?
The lying
disorder of Esau. Esau being the so-called white man. All right, so you have the first one, the BPA. BPA, that says BPA.
My first one, BPD.
Yes. I said BPA. You're absolutely correct.
Common concept.
Okay, let's get that one.
Borderline personality disorder.
BPD, all right? BPD, all right?
Is a complex, multi-layered condition that's as difficult to diagnose as it is to treat.
Listen, y'all. Our oppressor has a complex, which is not easy, it's difficult, right? Multi-layered condition that is difficult to diagnose as well as treat, right? You can't treat it. He has a problem that's put on him forever. We're going to prove it. Keep going.
One of its paradoxes involves lying.
One of his paradoxes is what?
Involves lying.
So this is what he has an issue with, right? What paradox? What he's locked into and can't get out of is lying. He has to lie, right? Keep going.
People with BPD fear abandonment and have trouble maintaining relationships.
Really? So people with BPD, they have trouble, with abandonment. And that's the whole thing. Our oppressor wants to be included in everything. If he's not included in something, he go bananas, right? I got an old 25-year-old, 30-year-old friend back in the day, this white man. And because I'm who I am today, he can't stand it. He actually texted me, I want the old you back. That's when I knew it was a demon. I said, wow. I said, Commander Junior YAHANNA, tell us exactly right. He don't want to talk to me. He want that old me. Who was the old me? Some old little Negro boy who knew no knowledge and wisdom of who my enemy was. I went out with a few of my brothers, YAHANNA and YAHANNA, over to go have a couple drinks. He happened to call me. It's like the only one I know, y'all. I'm like, man, why do you happen to call me right now? I answer the phone, what's going on? All right, I'm good. All right, cool, because I'm not him, right? I'm not gonna be like they treated us. What's going on? You good? Yeah, all right. What are you doing? I'm out with my partners. Okay, can I come? No, you can't. Guess what he said? Oh, I understand. You don't, because I'm white, you don't want me with you, around you. I said, well, now we've established that, I guess we good. You know what I'm saying? Because why? I'm not gonna fake the phone, right? Because the person who I was years ago, I'm not that person anymore. So he don't fit in with I.S.U.P.K anyway. I may meet him somewhere. That's not the time right there. But once he come in, everybody, if anybody got an oppressor, that's a friend. Y'all know they come up with them little jokes and little racial little stuff they say. That's how they get down. Every person I've talked to who said they got Esau as a friend, they always got to have a little side joke. Got something to do with some racism. All right. I don't play them games. It ain't funny to me. I'm not 13 years old when I knew this guy. So I'm looking at him, nah, you don't need to be around here because one of my brothers is going to knock fire from you. I ain't got time to be breaking up no fight. You know what I'm saying? So I was really helping him. But the fact of the matter is what I'm saying is, in order to be able to be a better person, right? You're going to have to limit your involvement with Esau because that's part of your old person. And you'll never be able to grow into the man or the woman that you're supposed to be by associating with Esau. You have to keep them at a distance. You go to work, gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying? They do Christmas. Hey, what y'all doing to Christmas? They want to come? No. Y'all go in the break room by yourself and do your thing and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all say it's for the children, but y'all walking around here in elf hats and passing candy canes around like y'all little children. Man. Halloween, everybody come to come to work, dressed in costume. I'm talking about this for the children. I'm trying to find out where the children are because I don't see no children up here. You see what I'm saying? They are a childish nation, a very childish nation, and they're ruling over us. Very childish and wicked nation. You want to say something?
No, I was just
Give him the microphone.
just wanted to add on. It is a righteous thing to hate them, right?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with hate.
Man, because I absolutely hate them, man. I hate to see them. I hate the smell of them. They smell like garlic and mayonnaise. I hate to see them coming around. I hate every iota of a cracker. And
Right.
I can't wait to get to the kingdom. I don't want to see them no more except for in the cotton field.
Yeah, get a brother hand on that. Get a brother hand on that. Yeah, David. If you can find, David said perfect hatred. At. Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar, but I don't know how to find it, sir.
Okay, no sweat. I'll find it for you. Yeah, he David himself, King David. You know what I'm saying? He said that he hated him with a perfect hatred. Perfect hatred. You can go to
Psalms 139.
Yeah, Psalm 139 verses let me see, 20. I think it's 21 and 22.
Okay.
Yeah, start at verse 20 and go down to 22.
Okay.
Is it okay to hate your enemies? Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the song.
Because I mean, you can't kill every man, woman, and child if you love your enemies.
Right.
You're gonna mess around and do what Saul did. And the story of Saul did what? Saul came back with, the Aggites. He came back with the leader and brought some ox and some animals and things that he thought was good when the Lord gave the order to kill everything, man, woman, and child. He wanted to save some people and bring them back. And the Lord said, what? I hate I ever made you king of Israel. Because you don't know how to follow an order. You know what I'm saying? You want to do what you want to do. You got love in your heart for the enemy.
Right.
All right? So we're going to get what David was. Listen, David's hands were so bloody that he couldn't even build a temple. Solomon had to build it for him. You see? And so this is David right here, giving up the game right here. Psalms, tell them where you at, huh?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain.
No, thy friends take thy name in vain. What do you say?
And thine enemies take thy name in vain.
Christ had enemies too. Y'all do know that. Christ wasn't here to, coming down here to kiss women, shake women's hand and kiss little babies and all that stuff. That's not the black Christ. That's, go ahead.
Verse 21. Do not I hate them.
No, do not what?
Do not I hate them.
Ain't no way. I'm a church Christian right now. Ain't no way that man said hate. God is all love. Ain't hate ain't in the Bible. God is all love. Read it again, huh?
Do not I hate them, O Lord,
Mm-hmm.
that hate
You
thee.
hear that? Do not, you gotta understand how that's written. King David said, do not I hate them, O Lord. What? Not who hate me, who hate thee. If you treat me any kind of way, you put me in servitude and bondage, when you take away my name and give me Smith, Johnson, Henderson, Anderson, all these names that's not mine, control my birth certificate, do everything, make me your slave, then guess what? You hate my God. But my God said don't do that. See what I'm saying? So you don't have any respect. You won't let me off for 4 or 5 days so I can go to the Passover in Raleigh, North Carolina, right? I can't go to the all black party. I can't go to the Feast of Unleavened Bread. I can't go out any day because I'm gonna lose my job. Then you hate my God. See what I'm saying? My God told me that the commandment was an order. It's a major commandment, y'all, to be at the Passover. No excuses. But our oppressor is gonna make it to where you can't do it. Then he hates the God of Israel. Right? He changed the black Christ to Caesar Borgia, the second son of Pope Alexander, the 6th of Rome, and said that's how Christ looked. a long dog, stringy hair white boy. But that's not what's depicted in the Bible. That's not a representation. That is a lie. Because why? He has
BPD.
BPD, which is what?
Borderline personality disorder.
Borderline personality disorder, to where he has to lie because he's in fear of abandonment. Or if I tell the truth, they're going to leave me. You, the children of Israel, don't leave me. That's how he feels. He got to be the center of attention. So much and so that he has to exalt himself above the stars of God, meaning the children of Israel. And he has to go upon the mount of the congregation, which is the children of Israel, and exalt himself as if he is God and play the role as God. That way, I don't get left out on anything. I know your business. I know your business. I know your business. The camera's over there. The camera's over there too. The cameras are everywhere. I see all things. He can't be left out because he's in fear of abandonment. That's a personality disorder. Continue to read the scripture.
Honorable kinds. And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?
So David is mad like you should be mad with anybody that's coming against the God of Israel. Anybody coming against your God, it's a fight going on. It's time to represent. Now, of course, you can't beat up everybody at your job. That's not what we're saying. You can go out on the street and hit the white man on the head. That's not what we're saying. But we are talking about not trimming your ways. We are talking about standing in the cut, right? And being who you are. And not saying, well, let me go to this party down here. They having this party down here in the break room. I'm gonna go down here. You know, I don't usually do Easter, but my boss is down there. Nah, you tell your boss, I'm an Israelite and I'm not doing that. Period. And that's just what it is. Now I'm gonna come to work and work harder than anybody else here. As a matter of fact, I would like to work the days that y'all off. Can I work the whole Christmas weekend? I'm here. I work overtime, 5 people. I'll do it. I'll be right here. I don't want that. It's not good that you keep their business going. It's good if you what? Break the law of your God. So the God of Israel don't hear your prayers. The God of Israel is not going to back you. So when you fight against your enemy, you are guaranteed to lose if you don't have the Lord God of Israel. And that don't mean, Lord, I put faith in you. Lord, I'm here for you. Hold on, Lord, I'm hungry right now. Give me that pork sandwich right there. The Lord know my heart. Yeah, he do know your heart. The Lord know your heart so much, he know you wicked as hell. Right. Your heart is your mind. And the Lord knows how wicked you are and how much you don't follow him. Right. And we're going to change that in the I.S.U.P.K. Keep going.
Honorable kind. Verse 22. I hate them with perfect hatred.
Stop. What is, hold on. Yeah. Just read that part again. What David said?
I hate them with perfect hatred.
King David said, I hate them with perfect hatred. Listen, King David hates them flawlessly. Mm-hmm. All right? There ain't no mistaking in his hating. Oh, that's a shirt. Ain't no mistaking in my hate. I'm telling you, man. King David said, I hate them with a perfect hatred. What does he do?
I count them mine enemies.
Well, you count them your friends.
Mine enemies.
Now, King David, what's so heavy about King David? King David was what? What did the Lord say about King David? Not you. What did the Lord say about King David? He was a man what?
After his own heart.
After his, get the man, get this brother a hand, man. And the Lord is a what? A man of war. All right? You can't war with your enemies. That's why men have to rule in an army, not women. It's disrespectful for a nation of men to put their women up and say, here, I need you to get this AK-47, bow down, shoot. When that clip falls, he go to other clip, shove it in there, pull the hammer back. You don't need to be teaching your woman how to shoot no AK-47. She need to know how to make biscuits from scratch. That's what she need to know. And that's not disrespecting our women. We play a part of equal balance. We come out of that field, we shooting and killing our enemies, then she need to do what? Bring life to you by bringing you food. And I'm gonna tell you right now, a real woman already knows how important her job is with that cooking. Because every time you open up your mouth, and put anything in it. It's the most important decision you'll ever make in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's how important a woman's job is. Not to be masculine. It's all about me hitting her chest and beating on her. No. You be submissive. You bring that food. You keep it going. I tell you what's going on. You flip it around and you go tell the children what's going on, and we work together. That's what our oppressor don't want. Get that man out the house, which causes a what? Family dysfunction, which causes a disorder. So if you live under the direction of Esau, then you're going to be of your father, the devil. You're going to have the same disorders. You're going to have the same borderline personality disorder. And then you start lying to yourself. You know how you're going to lie? I love everybody. You are a liar. You know damn well you don't love everybody. But the oppressor, after a while, that Stockholm syndrome will start kicking in. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to acting like a good slave. Start putting S's on at the end of all your words, you know? My heart hurt. Yours heart's hurting, masters. Mine's hurting too. It's like a good slave. And you don't mean it. But you trimming your ways to seek love from a nation who will never love you, man. And I ain't talking about your one or two friends that may be cool. We're talking about a nation of people. And on the cool, give me your one or two friend who you think is cool with. Give me 5 minutes tops in a room with them. And they'll be banging on that door saying I'm a racist and I'm crazy and they don't like black people all of a sudden. Because I know how to get down deep into their soul where that unclean spirit is dormanted and it's playing possum. I know how to get down in there real quick and I bring it out of them. That your so-called white friend who you thought was cool, they ain't cool if you follow these commandments and loving your God 1,000%. It ain't no way to hang with them like that. I'm telling you what it is from personal experience. They gonna get from around you when it's time because they're about playing games. Everything's a laugh and a joke. Hey, I would be like that too if I was ruling the world. If I was a slave master and all my children, I set them on top of everybody else. It's time to play PS5 all day long. Shoot, kick back and chill. But we can't afford to be non-productive because we got a family to feed and we have to survive and then get our life ready for the next day. That's why we need to serve our God and not theirs, right? Live in reality and not some fantasy land of borderline personality disorder. Somebody had a question real quick. Go ahead.
We so focused on trying to, like Christians so focused on trying to help them, but they not trying to help us. Like you'll hear them giving millions and billions to other countries to destroy each other. But you'll never hear them give millions and billions to a country that already been destroyed or people that already been destroyed. Right.
So in other words, the brother said they'll never give Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians 30 million like they did Ukraine. That's really what he's saying. Then we'll never get any money. We're right here looking for that. No, you don't get that. I tell you what, take this EBT card. You be like, thank you, master. Man, white people cool. No, Negro, they gave you a crumb. You've been waiting 2-3 years. You finally got a house, Section 8. Finally got in. What they gonna tell you? Now, I'll tell you now. Sister, you can stay here. Thank you so much. I get to bring my man and my family. No, love, sis, not so fast. No. We're gonna give you the home, but you can't bring your man in. If you do, you're gonna lose your place. So is that real love? Or are you trying to separate our families from each other? The sister, she got a home, but what does that do? It causes division. Now, you're not her head. You're not her daddy. You're not her leader. Guess who that is? Her daddy is a so-called white man, the one who got her the house she been waiting on for 2 years. And Negro, you're doing nothing but playing PS5. You see? And no, you can't come in there because you're going to jeopardize, watch this, you're going to jeopardize my house and my children. He'll be like, hold on, I thought we laid down together and had to. Now it's not here. He goes, okay, I gotta get out and get something to get. when he ain't got a good education, because it's hard for a Negro to be in school and learn about the Declaration of 1776. He's like, I don't know what this got to do with me. So you don't really put all you got into it, because we're not raised the way Japanese, Chinese, Orientals, they come over here from overseas. They have a plan, and they're taught by their parents. Their families are all together. Our men are what? We in prison houses. We in domestic violence with our families. We, on crack, on drugs. See what I'm saying? Hating each other. Can't even do a family reunion without shooting, fighting, and killing. So we're just where our oppressor wants us to be, in a mental disordered state, a mental health condition that was caused by our oppressor. All right, go ahead. Is that yeah, that was all he said, my thine enemies. All right, go back to what you was reading. Go ahead.
Kind. Nevertheless, they tend to lie, which ruins trust and intimacy, fosters resentment, and harms the very relationships they fear losing.
So our oppressor lies to us. After a while, Commanding General YAHANNA teaches us what? Don't trust your enemy. Don't do that. And we're going to show you in the Bible, right? Because the Bible is the truth. People who read the Bible and have no understanding, they tend to contradict the Bible. But the Bible has no contradiction. So I explained to you when Christ said in the 5th chapter of Matthew, when he explained to not have any hate towards your enemy, when he said love your enemy, he was speaking amongst us fighting each other. Give me Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10, Baba Kushai, if you could. Yeah, so when you lie to people, think about the relationships that we've all had. You're not going to sit there and have nobody just lie to you over and over again. Right? It causes what? Resentment. It messes up the intimacy. And we're not talking about sexually, but, in some cases if we're talking about a man and woman and their relationship. Right? How many times has the woman told the man, man, the way I saw you at first ain't the way I see you now. I can't even lay down with you. I can't even believe I laid down. It messes up the intimacy with the woman. Lies will destroy it. Right? So now, let's go ahead and get it.
Khan. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha.
Right.
Chapter 12, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So the scriptures say, never trust your enemy. What is this talking about? This is talking about our enemy, because the word enemy has a context to it. This enemy is talking about your oppressor. This enemy is talking about this time when the Greeks were over us, right? We don't trust enemies of ours. Never, because as iron rusts, so is his wickedness. Anybody know how iron rusts? Can you just, if your car has iron rusting on it, right, or rust on the iron happening, do you go get some, I don't know, shine and some wax and put it over the rust? Is that going to cure it? So how do you get rid of it? What you going to have to do? Go ahead.
You have to get a new frame or a new door.
Yeah, you got a new frame or a new door. You have to need a whole new car, really, because it's going to start rusting out everywhere, right? So never trust your enemy, because once he starts lying, he's going to continue to lie. That's why I'm pulling out the Google facts as well, right? Okay, now continue to read. Watch this.
The scripture.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
You hear that? The scripture says, though he go crouching, which means what? Crouching is more of like a humble state. He's coming to you. Right? I'm going to come to you. I'm crouching, and how you doing? I'm your friend. And he comes to you and he does what?
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
It says, yet take good heed and beware of him. Hey, how you doing? I'm coming to talk about how we can both get together on your land that your grandmother and your grandfather left for you. No. I'm good. I don't need you either. No. Listen, y'all. This, before I say that, so you have to wipe it clean and be transparent. If you don't trust him, then he's like a looking glass. You can look straight through it and say, I see a nice little suit, but you the same oppressor you been. I don't trust you. I don't need to do no contract with you and revenerate or what do you call renovate the land. I don't need you to do no contracts and stuff like that. Me and my people are gonna work it out. I don't need you here. Bye, Mr. White Man. Bye. Next day, send his white woman with her, you know. Because if he can't do it, he's gonna send his white woman. She's gonna see if she can close the deal with you. Right? So it says, and thou shalt know what? That is rust.
And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
Mm-hmm. Read verse 12. Watch this, y'all.
Verse 12. Set him not by thee.
Don't set no enemy by you. Keep going.
Lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
So after he run game on you and get you out your place, she gonna stand in your place after he overthrow you. But he came to you crouching. That's how he did the Native American Indians. He made over 500 treaties with the Native American Indians. Can anybody, besides the officer, can anybody give me the answer on? So he made 500 treaties. White man did with the Native American Indians. Can anyone tell me, just to throw a number out there, how many did he keep? Go ahead. None. Give her a hand. Good night. She is batting 1,000. All right. Yeah, so he thinks, so why would I trust somebody gonna lie perpetually over and over again? Over 500 treaties plus the Bible, which is our fathers, right? Putting it in the Bible. And I ain't trying to hear what nobody's saying. It's already in the Bible. All right. And I can come to I.S.U.P.K. and I can get in touch with the captains above me. I can get in touch with the generals, and they're gonna tell me to confirm what the Bible is saying. Then I don't need to deal with nobody other than my own people when they come to me. See what I'm saying? That's a smart man or woman with wisdom, right? Okay, keep going.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand.
Don't say he's your buddy old pal and sit him at your right hand and look at your own people and say, man, hey, you know, Billy's always been there for me. You know, he's been there from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You need to be saying, man, you need to get that one from by your side, man. I'm telling you. And that's what basketball players do. They get all the millions, and who they put on their right hand? I'm gonna let a sister answer this. Who they put on their right hand?
White woman.
That's how she said it. So real, right? They put a white woman right there on the side, and then what does a white woman do over time? What?
Alimony.
She say alimony. Listen, they take everything that black basketball player has. Now, I'm not saying he could have worked it out with the black woman or Hispanic woman or Israelite, but damn, he could have kept the generational wealth in the family. At least you could have did that. But they gonna take it, and that white woman gonna take that money back to the anthill. She gonna take it back to her people. And all that work that he did is completely destroyed. Like the moment you integrate with the opposing side, you have disqualified yourself from being a representative of speaking for Israelites. Period. With all due respect for my brother Ye. All right? Charles Barkley cannot speak for black people. He has disqualified himself. Okay? And Michael Jordan, whoever else, you have disqualified yourself when you do that. You see what I'm saying? All right. So now, is that it for the verse?
Just one last part, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Lest he seek to take thy seat,
Mm-hmm.
and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
Right. So you're gonna understand, and you'll realize that he got you at the end. You saying, but it'll be a little bit too late for that. Right? All right, go back to what you were reading. You can go to the next one. What personality disorder is associated? Uh-oh, now we get ready to get it, y'all.
What personality disorder is associated with compulsive lying? Pathological lying is a symptom of various personality disorders, including antisocial, narcissistic, and histrionic personality disorders.
Right. Histrionic is like being over theatrical and or melodramatic in character or style. Who does that? Come on, y'all. Who does that? Who's all on the internet doing that? I'll help you out. Karen. She is overly theatrical and melodramatic. Oh my God, there's a man out here, and he's okay, what is he doing? Oh, he's hurting me. And the guy's like, excuse me, I'm videotaping it. I'm not hurting you. Like, black man, this is a true story. It was all over the internet. And Karen's like, oh my God. Karen hits the ground, starts rolling over, and the guy's like, ma'am, I'm filming you. What the hell is wrong? The black dude is like, I'm filming, I'm not harming you. I'm filming you right now doing this. The cops still showed up. Luckily, he had to show the film, like, this woman crazy. Nothing happened to her, though. She didn't get in trouble for filing a false, police report or nothing. But the fact of the matter is, they are overly melodramatic. And you don't want a white man, more or less a white woman, sitting in court testifying against you. Negro, it's over with. You are out of there forever. And the only way you can avoid that is to not mingle in with them like that. You handle your business with them, do what you got to do, and move around, period. They're either going to respect it or they ain't going to respect it, right? But what you don't want to do is trim your way for your God. And don't think that you a slick Negro, and you're going to do it different than the ones before you. That's our problem, too. Oh, he ain't do it right, but I'm going to get with Karen. I'm going to do it like this. No, Negro, you're going to end up in the same thing in the same boat, period. You can be as slick as you want to, but the son you're going to catch him up in that, too. I'm telling you, ain't no way that you can get with them and serve the Lord, because they're going to want to do Christmas and everything else when your children get born. It's a problem right there. It's over with. It was good until you got her pregnant. They'll say, hey, I want him to come to school. Come to school for what? She'll say, well, my grandmother, his grandmother is a white woman. And I'm not going to have my child problems. And because they are in control, they're going to grab your child and they're going to do with what they want to. So you're going to have a black child with, he barely going to have any rhythm, if he got any rhythm at all. And he's going to be so confused in the head, like most interracial children, and they end up committing suicide. It's a fact. You can look it up. Because they're confused. Now, if you got a brother like Charles Barkley who's willing to put on striped shirts from Walmart and wear, golf shorts showing his, upper thigh, walking around, and saying with tennis shoes on, well then, with checkers, whatever you call them, then you just the guy for the white woman. But you can't be a soldier of the Lord. And sisters, you can't be a princess of Zion and get with the enemy. As a matter of fact, when a sister get with the oppressor, get with Esau, her entire descendancy is destroyed. Did you know that? That's why I don't say nothing. When a sister get with the oppressor, her descendancy is destroyed. Meaning they have a child, that child is now white. You can come to the Passover and all the cookouts, but guess what? Your husband and them little children you got, that's gonna hurt you. They can't come. Thus saith the Lord, God of Israel, not me. So what's gonna happen? The sister's gonna eventually, she may make a Passover. She'll try to be strong, and then eventually she's gonna fall off and stop coming to class and do whatever the white man tell her to do, and her children, and she caught up in that. Now she wish you a Merry Christmas. She doing whatever it take, and she weak, and she got caught up. And don't ever get with the oppressor like that, ever. That don't mean for the men to say, well, I don't destroy my descendancy. When I get with, I can get with who I get with a Japanese woman and it's still gonna be Israelite. You're gonna go through hell because a woman is the first teacher of the child. See what I'm saying? So she can't come to class. And what you think she's teaching your child? What do you think she's teaching? She's teaching them the ways of Esau. And your son gonna have a lying spirit. Because your son or your daughter gonna come to you, Daddy, Santa Claus come down the chimney. Like, damn, you don't taught my son that, man. I put my teeth up under the pillow and Tooth Fairy gave me money. Giving him a borderline personality disorder. All right, go back to it. So histrionic is a person who's overly theatrical and melodramatic over everything, right? And that's exactly how our oppressor is, exaggerating. Right, keep going.
Other conditions, such as borderline personality disorder, may also lead to frequent lies, but the lies themselves are not considered pathological.
Okay, so they're not pathological yet. All right. So now let's look at, keep going. Let me see. So it said antisocial, narcissistic. Narcissistic is a form of white supremacy. That's where it come from. Because you think whatever you say goes, and you Negroes, y'all don't have nothing to say. Y'all can't tell us anything because you don't have no leadership. And you follow us, and how can you tell, like, how can you get mad, right, at any of the celebrities for making choices that they make when you got a Christmas tree in your house? How can you stand with Kanye? You're gonna stand with Ye. I believe that we're the Jews, but you just said Happy New Year. You can't ride the fence. Jesus Christ himself said what? Two things can't occupy the same space at the same time. That's what he said, right? Okay, maybe he said it like this. Go to Matthew 6:24. He probably didn't say it like that, but we're going to get exactly how he said it. Well, that's what Christ said. He did say that, though. But he just said it like this. Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
No man can serve two masters. That will definitely give you a borderline personality disorder. You can't serve two masters. You can't do it. And we're going to show you that Paul was taught the same thing that Jesus Christ taught. Read it again.
No man can serve two masters.
Okay, you can't serve two masters. You got to make a choice. Keep going.
For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
So either you're going to have to love one or hate the other, right? You're going to have to hold on to one or despise the other, which is basically saying the same thing. You can't serve two masters. You can't do it. That's why old dude couldn't come and sit amongst me and my brothers. You know why? Because Paul said it. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 10. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, go to verses 21 and 22 if you could, Papa Kushak.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 21.
It's in the New Testament. Let's get a church Christian going right here. Come on.
Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils.
Now, remember Christ said what? Drink my blood. Remember he said that? And take this bread and eat my flesh. He wasn't talking about commit a cannibalistic act like they do in the Christian church for communion. That's not doing it. Taking a couple of wine, grape juices and eating that dry bread. That's not what he's talking about. Because later on in the 6th chapter of John, around the 50-something verse, he said that not the manna that our fathers ate, and they are dead now. They're dead. He's not talking about that. He's talking about say the things that I said, do what I do, walk the way I walk, act the way that I act. Right? So Paul is saying, what? You can't drink the cup of devils, which is the same thing, meaning you can't carry out the acts that they do. You can't do Father's Day, Mother's Day, and all the pagan holidays, and then turn around and say, all right, I did Christmas. When Hanukkah going on? Let me go cover my head, get the Hanukkah. The Lord gonna destroy you. You can't play both fence, man. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall looking at both sides and fell off and cracked his shell. You know what I'm saying? That's a little fairy tale story, but it's true. It's saying you can't say the other side is greener or the grass is greener. I'm gonna go on that side. Listen, I'm going to the job. Let me take this real quick, put that inside real quick. Then I'm coming to school. And I'm going up to the school now. The Lord hates that, man. The Lord, and they just gave me another one. When I speak, precepts comes, so I guess got another one. All right, keep going. I'm gonna pull that next.
Honorable Khan.
Go ahead.
Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table.
You can't be partakers of the Lord's table and do what?
And of the table of devils.
No, you didn't say devils.
Honorable Khan.
He said the word devil in the New Testament. You can't be partakers of the Lord's table and what?
And of the table of devils.
And of the table of devils. You got to choose a side. That's in the New Testament, right? Read the next verse.
Honorable Khan, verse 22. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he?
Go up to verse 20, because I said 21 and 22. It might have been 20 and 21, because I don't want to miss that verse. Go to 20.
Honorable Khan, verse 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils.
So they're talking about our enemies. The things that the Gentiles sacrifice to, they sacrifice to devils. You think you celebrating Christmas? When you got the little, you know what? We're going to eat it healthy this time. We're not doing ham, because I heard a little bit of Israelite. So we ain't going to do ham. We're going to do chicken and fish and maybe turkey. We good now. The Lord don't care if it's chicken, fish, turkey. You might as well put shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, because you're still sacrificing to devils. You know what I'm saying? Christ was not born on December 25th. How many people know that now? Damn. Go ahead, Sue.
Oh, I know.
Okay, you know. How many people already know that? But yet, we still continue to do the same thing over and over again. I got your question. Go ahead. No. Read what you said. I'm get them right after.
Khan. And not to God.
Right. So they sacrifice to devils and not to the God of Israel. Right. Keep going.
And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils.
Hold up, man. Does anybody know what that phrase means? That you should not have fellowship with devils. What does that mean? Now somebody else to answer this, because this is simple. And I'm not trying to intimidate you by saying simple. I'm just saying.
Being around them.
That's what it say. You don't supposed to be around them. That's why I couldn't invite the dude to the bar. Even though I was at an open bar, I was like, I can't invite him here, because if I invite him here, then it's definitely going to be trouble. I can't have fellowship with you. Why? Because I can't weigh the balances. I can't ride both sides. I'm out with my brothers now. And now I know why the call came and everything. I was like, man, this is crazy, man. Because I know this guy for 20-something years, but I'm only 6 years old. I'm only 7 years old. I've been in the truth. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like a 6 or 7-year-old trying to make a decision of a 25-year relationship. And it's hard sometimes. But guess what? You're going to have to get rid of the old man and old woman before you end up with a personality disorder. You can't play both sides of the fence. And that's why the Lord only wants strong men and strong sisters up in here, because it's some shedding to do. Y'all don't know y'all snakes. You got to shed that off of you and become a new person, man. You see what I'm saying? And what's it going to have to do? What did Christ say do? What did Christ say? He said, you're going to have to what? Let go of your father, your mother. We finna get the verse right now, man. That's the end of that verse, right? All right, give me Matthew chapter 10. We're going to read it right now. Start at Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. Read down to 37.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 34.
Uh-huh.
Think not.
Go back up to 32.
Verse 32.
Uh-huh.
Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father.
You hear that? This is what color are those letters?
Red.
Who's speaking?
Christ.
It's Christ speaking. So this we getting first-hand information from Jesus Christ. Matthew chapter 10, verse 32 through 37. He said, you're gonna have to confess me. You can't be in the background holding it in. That's gonna give you a personality disorder. It's gonna make you like our oppressor. You're gonna be of your father, the devil, because you're scared to come out and say, I'm an Israelite. That's who I am. And I've been in slavery all of my life, and all of my people who are white or Hispanic, white or African or East Indian, I can't hang with y'all right now. Okay? That don't mean I ain't gonna hang with you forever. Right now, I got to hang with my people. I got to get my mind right. I got to get amongst my brethren and my sisters and learn who I am for the first time in my life. Once you do that, then you'll be able to go back around them. But guess what? When you go back around them, they're not going to like you. Two people not going to like you. It's going to be your enemies, those heathens you was hanging with, and it's going to be your own people. Because the change in you, the righteous change in you, is the evil in them. Y'all understand that, right? You changing as a person. They say, damn, he don't smoke no more. Man, he don't do this no more either. Man. And really, it's not you they hate, it's God they hate. And that's cool. Let it be between you and them and God, right? Let it be between them and God, right? All right, give me some more of that verse.
Come. My Father, which is in heaven.
Uh-huh.
Verse 33. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father. Now, you can play around and you can deny Christ all you want to. You better tell them white folks that God don't love everybody if they ask you. You better tell them enemies of ours that salvation is only for the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You better tell them. You better confess it. That's what Christ said. Christ is not some little punk. Christ wants you to openly admit, if it's your daddy, your mama, your co-workers, whoever the hell it is standing in the way of your salvation, you better tell them. That don't mean go out and be a prophetess. You know what I'm saying? That just means if somebody asks you what that da da, what you a gangster disciple? Hell no. What are you, a Jewish? No, I'm a Jew. I'm an Israelite. I'm God's chosen people. Next question. You don't have to promote nothing to them. If they ask you, you better confess it. Them angels looking at you. And I don't care who you are. You're going to be put in a position to where you're going to have to confess Christ before men. That's what the Bible said. You're not going to get, this ain't Christianity, to where you can say you're a Christian and, not really be a Christian, but then at your own convenience, you can be a Christian. This not the place. Then we walk upright with our head upright, you know what I'm saying? And we are so grateful and blessed, you know what I'm saying, and thankful to the Most High God that we are from the 12 tribes of Israel. And we all carry that badge of honor, the men and the women. All right, go ahead, Khan, which is in heaven. Verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Christ didn't come to send peace on earth. Get that out your head. Keep going.
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
A sword. Christ came to get a sword. Now, what does a sword do? A sword do what? It separates. It divides. It tears in half. You want to get as far as the men, because sometimes the Bible is twofold. A sword, you don't take a sword to use like a fingernail file and get the dirt up under your nail. A sword kills. And we're not talking about physically, we're talking about spiritually. You tell somebody that you ain't with them and you ain't doing Christmas, that'll kill all your family members right there. Spiritually, they kill because Christmas has what? A spirit to it. They say the spirit of Christmas is what they say, right? You in the spirit of Christmas? I'm not in the spirit of Christmas. I'm in the spirit of an Israelite. Okay, keep going.
Khan. Verse 35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father.
Variance means in opposition, against. Christ said, I ain't come to bring peace. I come to set a man against another man in his own household. Keep going.
And the daughter against her mother.
And the daughter against her mother. Oh, good night. You know what I'm saying? A mother and a daughter can be arguing. over anything in the house or what they want to wear. So she ain't washing dishes or whatever. But you talking about God, and you talking about you ain't going to church no more because the Lord ain't up in there, and the church is the house of Satan. Oh, it's a problem. And Mom, I'm finna cover my head, and I'm finna be the Israelite, and I'm saying be the woman of Zion I'm supposed to be. And your mom is like down hard Christian from Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi. It's a problem around here. You know what I'm saying? You might just have to get your stuff and get out. Right? Keep going.
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
What does the word foe mean? This is important to what Christ said.
Foe is a friend.
Foe is not a friend.
Oh,
Anybody else? Okay, go ahead, officer.
An enemy, sir.
An enemy. That's why Christ said what? Love your enemies. He's talking about the people in your own household. Just because they don't understand what you are, you don't hate them because you're in the truth. So you have to what? Be gentle and kind and loving and compassionate and full of joy. But they just don't understand the Lord ain't dealing with them just yet. Now, depending on your actions and how you act and the way you carry yourself, but then the Lord could, through you can water it, and then the Lord will do the increase. Right? My father is now in the truth. He saw my actions and how I was rolling, went against my whole family. And we had many talks and debates. My father, 84 years old, he come to class. He in the truth now. Never too old to teach a dog new tricks. You know what I'm saying? All right, go ahead.
Con. Verse 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
So now if you love the Most High, if you love your parents or your loved ones or people more than you love the Lord, then what?
He is not worthy of me.
Then you're not worthy of Christ. Now, some people misconstrue this scripture. It doesn't mean you don't love your children, you don't love your father. It didn't say that. It said that you love them more. So you do love them, but you can't love them more than the Most High. Because if you do, you're going to say, boy, I'm looking online, they're doing the Feast of Purim. Man, I missed Hanukkah last month. And you in the car on your way to church because you don't want to upset nobody. You better get out that car and catch your Uber and come here. Don't love them more than the Lord, because this is the Lord up in here and this is what's right. You have to go to what's right. And it may not be popular. Christ wasn't popular. Christ was poor. He was from Nazareth, from the ghetto, from the barrios, from a reservation, from the hood, from the slums. But yet what? He got popular after he died. That's what America do, right? Because America's afraid of the unknown, afraid of death. You know what I'm saying? Somebody they hate. Listen, I'm old enough to hear a lot of Negroes say that. Man, I don't even mess with Dave, man. I don't mess with that nigga Dave, man. Dave owed me some money, man. But you know David died last night. Man, my nigga died last night? He just switched all over, he just flipped. Man, he died last night? Oh, man, that's messed up, man. What happened to him, man? Oh, this and that happened. He ain't hit him. Man, when the funeral, now I got to go. I ain't know my nigga, man. But you was just gonna kill him that he ain't had your $5. Because we scared of the unknown. We want to make it right with the dead. That's why the Lord say what? We should give more praise to the living while we here. You get up under the white man, what? He gonna worship George Washington. Who else dead? So I'm saying we don't have to go through them. Who's ever dead, Christopher Columbus, he's dead. Okay? And every other pagan holiday in the Bible, they're all dead. You're gonna worship dead people. That's what you're gonna do. Ain't nobody gonna be alive. Everybody's dead. See what I'm saying? That'll give you a disorder. Look at the people around you who living. And the scriptures say, don't praise yourself. You let another man's lips praise you. So we have to give honor. We give flowers to the sisters when they do great things around the school. Not when they dead. Right now we appreciate it. So I'm saying? And we know we give rank raises and everything to the brothers when they perform the laws of the Lord, and it looks like they're ready for more responsibilities, right? Okay, does that continue? You done with that?
La,
All
sir.
right, let's get it.
And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Man, listen. What color are those words?
Red.
Christ is still speaking. If you love your son or daughter more than you love the Lord, you're not worthy. You're not. Just go and live for your son or your daughter and don't come back here no more. But if you're willing to be strong, then they're going to end up coming here. You just got to fight. Up in here, we fight. Ain't nobody weak. Well, guess what? The scriptures say, let the weak be strong. So if you're weak, guess what? We can counsel you, right? If you're kind of confused, we can counsel you, but don't ever stop fighting. You can't ever stop fighting, because that's what it's about. It's an unfair fight to begin with. Our oppressor got us on the track, and it's a 20 lap race. This bastard done ran 19 laps, and then he said, all right, go. He just surprised that Negroes still win the race. By the time he go that one lap, we're not running around there 19 times real fast. He can't believe that we still winning, because we the children of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna fight up in here. That's all we do is fight. The Lord is a man of war. See what I'm saying? All right, give me some more of what we were reading. What personality disorder is associated with compulsive lying?
We read that one already, sir.
Is compulsive lying a mental disorder?
Pathological lying is not a formal diagnosis, but a doctor or therapist may recognize the behavior as a sign of another underlying condition, such as a personality disorder or factitious disorder.
Start right there. Somebody look at the word factitious. Factitious disorder. We finna find out and get behind Esau, and I'm gonna let y'all know that he has a lying tongue. Right? Somebody give me that.
This is the Google Dictionary definition of factitious. Artificially created or developed.
Listen. Caesar Borgia is artificially developed. He made that up. Christ does not look like that. Okay? That's artificially inseminated into his Christian doctrine to make you believe that they're God. And one thing our oppressor knew, this is what he knew. He knew if we continue to look up to Caesar Borgia, that fake Christ on that picture, eventually we would start to what? Worship white people, the white race. Because that picture right there is how he took over the whole world. That's why that picture right now, even though we're not Africans, that picture is in Ghana. That picture is all overseas, in every continent across the world. And whoever don't want to bow down to that, he stops your embargoes. I mean, he stopped your trades and your imports and exports of sales and your commerce. That's what they try to do to Kanye. That's why they cut off his bank, right? Because if you don't believe in white Jesus, then you don't believe in white supremacy, right? And so now you have an agenda according to them, but they have an agenda the whole time, right? Give me, this is 53 or 54. This is 52. Give me Psalms chapter 52, right? Psalm chapter 52. And this is, so set the backdrop. This is the Edomite. This is a psalm from David, right? When Doeg, he's the Edomite, he came to Saul and he was talking to him. And David has come to the house of Ahimelech, right? And he was boasting when he came, right? He was talking and, being like Edomites are, right? And he said, "Oh, mighty man, the goodness of God endureth continually." Go to verse 2 and see what he said. See what David said.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 52, verse 2. Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor.
You see what David told the Edomite? He said, your tongue devises mischiefs, which means confusion, right? Gain, running game. Like a short razor working deceitfully. Meaning what? Short razor does what? It divides, it separates. That's how he conquers. He divides and conquers and separate. Even when the police pull you up, what do? You got two people in the car, what they gonna do? One cop gonna pull one to the back, other one gonna talk to the other in the window or get him out. They gotta separate everybody and get a story, right? Keep going.
Khan, verse 3. Thou lovest evil more than good.
What did it say about our oppressor? He what?
Thou lovest evil more than good.
Here we go. And what?
And lying.
And what?
And lying.
And what?
And lying.
And lying, read.
Rather than to speak righteousness. Salah.
Read.
Verse 4. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue.
Deceitful tongue, liar. That's what our oppressor is. He loves evil more than good and lying rather than speaking righteousness. And you're not going to ever get him to change because that's in the scripture. He is always going to be a compulsive liar. He is always going to be, have an underlying condition of something that's a factitious disorder. You see what I'm saying? And you can't change it. A handshake won't change it, right? And you think that you can shake hands with them and everything will be okay because you're the children of Israel and you're going to go against the I.S.U.P.K. and you know that what we're saying is right, but you're still going to try to keep the peace yourself. The Lord got a scripture in there for you. Give me Psalms chapter 11. I think it's Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
See that? That's Proverbs 11 and 21. Read it again.
Though hand join in hand.
No, it says, though hand join in hand, even though you shake their hand and say, you know, them Israelites, they're kind of crazy over there, but I'm cool with you. Though hand join in hand, keep going.
The wicked,
the wicked, our oppressor, keep going.
Shall not be unpunished.
You can shake hands all you want to with him, but the wicked will not go unpunished. Period. His judgment is coming, and your handshake or I love you is not going to help it. Right? You're gonna mess around and get some of it hanging around with him. That's what's gonna end up happening. Right? So now there it is. It says, God shall likewise destroy thee. Read verse 5. Psalms 52, verse 5.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 52, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
God shall likewise destroy thee forever.
Hold on, no, for a little bit.
Forever.
God gonna destroy that lying tongue forever. Keep going.
He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living.
You see that? And root thee out of the land. He gonna take this oppressor up out of this earth, man. Because that lion is how you separate very friends. That lion is how you control the people. That lion is so wicked to where he is compulsive. All right? And the righteous also gonna see it. We see it, read verse 6, just so we know that we're gonna get ours in the end.
Verse 6. The righteous also shall see and fear.
So we're gonna see it. We're gonna see him getting taken out. We're gonna see the fall of America. We're gonna see it. And then it's gonna make us fearful. Not because they fallen, but our God is real. Like, wow. Man, keep going.
And shall laugh at him.
And we're gonna laugh. We're gonna so it don't mean we in fear like, oh, I'm in fear for my life. No, you should be in fear. I'm not gonna live like him. I'm in fear of our Lord being real. He said it in these scriptures, he gonna get Esau up out of here. He gonna pluck the wicked and get them off the land. They should be like, man, that's a good father. I'm in fear of his judgment. right? Now that make me want to serve. It's like somebody beating you up all the time, and you tell your father say, listen, they come over here again. Listen, I'm gonna whip them down the block. And then your father actually do it. You be in fear. Not of your father. You like, God, man, he wasn't. Then he come on, son. He pull you in the house. Oh, come on, daughter, y'all go in the house. You're not scared of your dad. Like, oh, I'm scared of you. Not that type of scared, but you are and feel like, I see you will be whooping on people. I'll make sure it ain't me, man. So I'm gonna clean your room. Yes, sir. I'll be back. Pew! So you're not scared of him, but you seeing he will go off. You seeing he a man of his word. And the Lord say, I'm a man, listen, I'm a man that I don't lie. I'm not a man that I should lie. The Lord ain't finna be lying. If he say he coming to get you, if he say that he gonna give you that judgment, that's exactly what you're gonna get. Thus saith the Lord, right? All right, give me some more.
Okay.
Was that all with the histrionic?
You want dissociative lying, sir?
Yep. Dissociative lying. Here we go.
Dissociation, a psychological term used to describe a mental departure.
Stop. You see that? So later on, it was saying it's not a disorder. But as you keep reading and searching, it is a disorder, right? That they say they couldn't really put their hand on it. They don't know if it's hard to treat or it's hard to diagnose. Now they're going to tell you it is a disorder. Keep going.
A mental departure from reality.
Anything that's a mental departure from reality is what? A mental disorder. A mental departure from reality is me saying, hey, man, you know, I can't even say it, so I'm going to have to say somebody else said it. Somebody else is saying, hey, I was born as a man, but I've always wanted men. Yeah, Negro, you departing from reality. You got on that runway, you said, pew, and you took off. You departed from reality because you a man. Your mama and your dad and your mama got together and made you. Now you figure that you're going to create, like we always said in I.S.U.P.K, like homosexual men, lesbian people, they need straight people to keep creating. So while they hating on us, you still need us to create your little nation you trying to create. You see what I'm saying? Because why? Once you get with them, you cannot procreate. A man and a woman cannot procreate. Now you leave it up to them. They don't live in reality. Like, yes, we can. There's a lot of homeless children. There's a lot of people in orphans, and we can go down and we can get one of them. Yeah, I understand. You still got that from straight people, dumb. You know what I'm saying? You still went and got straight people who couldn't take care of their child, gave it up for abortion or gave it up in a home, and then you went and got them. But we're talking about you creating children, right? From your body parts. You done depart. I like the way, listen, sometimes away with words and phrases, it's like you have departed from reality. That's just, this is such a political way of saying you are slam crazy out your rabbit ass mind. You're right. You have departed from reality. All right, keep going. People who dissociate
believe, at least in part, what they are saying to be true.
There we go. So what our oppressor is saying, he believes in that. He thinks that it's true. In part, at least in part, that what he's saying is true. That's why you're not going to break him, not going to get him off his square. Because some way, somehow, he really think that what he's saying has some validity to it. It has some substance to it, right? Like creating a white Jesus. What do they tell you? If you ain't got no knowledge, what they gonna tell you? Well, I'm not saying that that's actually Christ. I'm just saying that that's a representation. Oh, representation, huh? You go in the Bible. The representation in the Bible says he's a black man, his skin is burnt like brass, as if it burned in a furnace. That's what's depicted in the Bible. That's the representation. It's like, let me show how much of a mental disorder it is. It's like if you work for a company, right? And your boss, you work for a company where you sell boxes. Let's keep it simple, right? And he goes to, I don't know, Aruba, vacation with his wife. And he leaves you to close out a business meeting. Y'all gonna get a big $1 million deal with some more people over some boxes. He says, okay, Boom, y'all in the meeting, you're like, yeah, so you're talking to the people that's bringing you boxes. You and that talking about, well, you know, the first time I used Gillette, you know, I shaved up and it got all the skin off, you know. Now I have some other clippers up there. Now the clippers, they not as good as the Gillette. But what I did, I used the rate. They gonna say, what? One of the people gonna call the head man. Yeah, we're here to sell boxes. This guy's just talking about razors and clippers. Okay, hold on. Your phone gonna ring. It's gonna be your boss. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, what is wrong with you? Nothing. Didn't I send you to the meeting to represent me? Yeah, I'm representing you. No, you're not. You're talking about razors and clippers. We sell boxes. Sell boxes. Okay. So you can't say I sent a representation. So now that whole metaphor I put together, him selling them razors, right there, him selling them razors is the fake Christ. That's the fake Christ. Them boxes was the black Christ. He said, hey, talk about the black Christ. Then here come, give me Second Corinthians chapter 11, verse 4. I think that's what it is, right? And so now somebody bringing in a new Christ to you and telling you this is what he looked like. And when they're telling it to you, some way, somehow, deep inside of here, they think what they're saying is true to you. You need to steer way away from that person. A disassociative, meaning what? They have ramped up and got on a runway and they have departed from reality. They are completely delusional, man. Give me that.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 4. For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him.
Bear with him means you can put up with it. You know what time it is, right? So it's saying, for if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus. Who came and taught us another Jesus? They taught us Caesar Wright, our enemy, who has borderline personality disorder, dissociative disorder, has a compulsive lying disorder, and thinks in part what he's saying is kind of true. He said he brought in another Jesus, right? It says, this is Paul telling us, if he that cometh preaches another Jesus, whom we have not preached, right? Then it says, or if ye receive another spirit. What kind of spirit? Because Christ is what type of man? Go ahead.
Man.
No, what kind of man? Go ahead.
A man of war.
A man of war. I'm looking for it. Starts with an A.
Austere man.
An austere man. Which means, austere means what? He's not as friendly as you think he is. And he's not as quick to accept your apology like you think he is. He's hardcore, strict in manner and in attitude. That's what austere means, right? So this other Jesus they brought in, we know about the other Jesus, the one, you know, with the college toga, the Roman toga with the shoulder hanging off, and the sissy Jesus, you know, the one with the rope around his waist and the dirty sandals, and the one that's going to all the college sorority, parties and stuff like that. That one, right? The one that's got some picture with one of his disciples just hugging on his knee real close, and all those homosexual pictures. That's the spirit of another Jesus. That Jesus is a homosexual, right? Known homosexual. That Jesus was having sex with his own sister, Lucretia, and killed his brother because they was both having sex with her. He also had sex with Leonardo da Vinci, which was his lover, who was in competition with Michelangelo. See, that's the sissy Jesus. That's another spirit. That's not the one who said, you better confess me before men, right? All right, so it says, which ye have not received, or another gospel. Because what's another gospel? Another gospel is God came for everyone. He loves everyone, no matter what your race is. We're all together here. We have to love one another. Love your enemies. When they smack you, you just love them back. And, you know, when is the oppressor ever took a smack from another nation and not went against them to take everything that he's got, that nation has? He goes in and obliterates the land. But he tell you, Negro, you need to calm down now. When you walk over Selma, Alabama, you need to walk with your head down, and they call you Negro and everything else. You go ahead and take that, boy. You just be just as humble as you can be. But them, they gonna bring guns out and they gonna fight for their revolution and their war, right? Then they say what? Which ye have not accepted, because you know these scriptures, bear with it means put up with it. You'll be able to say, yeah, they lying. We know what time it is, right? And guess what? In the I.S.U.P.K, under Commander General YAHANNA, he teaches us how to bear with all the lies that our oppressor come up with. And there's many that he comes up with. He's such a lying, diabolical thief, okay? And everything he says makes you just cringe once you come in his truth real deep. And you realize how much of a pathological liar he is, dissociative lie he is, man. All right? Okay, what else is there? You got some more with that what you was reading? Okay. Dissociative liars can be?
Disassociative liars can be thought of as people who also deceive themselves when they tell a lie.
You have to read that one more time for they can hear it.
Disassociative liars can be thought of as people who can also deceive themselves when they tell a lie.
Right, one more time, but it's not dissociative, it's dissociative.
It's like a dissociative liars can be thought of as people who also deceive themselves when they tell a lie.
Y'all hear this, right? That's why America gonna fall. Because they actually taught their children. The more that they hear the I.S.U.P.K say Christmas is not real, they look at their people and say, Christmas is real, Amy. Christmas is real, Tommy. And so they're lying to their children. And so what they plan to happen to all of us is only happening to them. Now their children become dissociatives, you see what I'm saying? And they become to where they to the point that they get anxiety and they don't want to feel abandoned by everybody else, that they'll go all out to where they'll do what? Get a gun and go into a what and shoot it up. What up?
A church.
Yeah, what else? Church. What else they went into? Go ahead. A school. What else they done went into? Grocery stores, right? They ain't coming in here though. Because you're gonna get searched at that door. Because we know it can happen up in here. You'll get searched thoroughly up in here. Right? All right. So now, they lie so much that they believe their own lie. Like, listen, man, that's gotta be great. That's gotta be great to be that is the ultimate form of white supremacy. That's Jesus Christ. I said, man, that's not Jesus Christ. Well, that's what it is. That's what I believe. Me and you just can what they say when people agree to disagree, right? When we can just agree to disagree. That's a form of white supremacy, whether you are a bum on the street, when we go to camp, we see them, or you in the executive office and you Donald Trump or somebody, you feel the same way. Even though your lies are crushed, even though you know everybody knows that you're lying, now what comes into play is what they call, oh man, I was we went over it a while back, deny plausibility, right? Deny plausibility, which is just, your t-shirt is full of blood. Your hands got blood on it. There's a bloody body in the alley. And I come over and say, hey man, there's a blood trail leading from you all the way to, did you kill that person? I don't even know what you're talking about. But you killed that person right there. Look, the person's not even dead yet. Their eyes are open and they're pointing at you right now. They're pointing at you. I don't even see a body. What are you talking about? That's how our oppressor is, man. They deny plausibility over and over again. That's why you Negroes, when you go in the investigative room in 48 hours in forensic files and ID or whatever else you watch, that's why they don't believe you, because you can't lie to a murderer about murder. You can't lie to a thief about stealing. They know. That's why they put in those positions. And you find out that Negroes are the children of Israel once they get in them rooms. You know what I'm saying? 6ix9ine is a Israelite. He's not a gangster rapper. Ghana is a Israelite. He's not a gangster rapper. We don't know how to lie. We learn from them and we think we know how to lie until you get in an investigation room of some cold-blooded liars that know all about lying. Now you're just the children of Israel. You're just as righteous as you can be. Okay? All right, let's get the next one. What is the root cause? Here we go, y'all. What is the root cause of compulsive lying? What is the root cause? Yeah, I'll go into some scriptures after this. What is the root cause? You have it, right?
I don't got that one.
Okay, I'll read that. Compulsive lying is usually thought to develop in early childhood. I'm going to need you to get Psalms chapter 58, verse 3 in position. All right.
Okay.
All right. I already read it earlier, but we're going to read it again. Compulsive lying is usually thought to develop in early childhood, y'all, due to being placed in an environment where lying was necessary and routine. So if you grow up in a household to where they're lying and it's routine, you're going to naturally teach your children. So they taught their children about us and they lied. So they're going to believe the lies because they're going to all roll together. You know, Donald Trump's entire family got in trouble. Not just Donald Trump. His entire family got in trouble for swindling millions out of every business deal they did with everybody else. So Donald Trump taught both his sons and his daughter and everybody else how to be just like him, to be a swindler. And that's how they got billions, right? So now, it says a lot of them find it easy to avoid confrontations with the truth. The truth with the I.S.U.P.K. How many of these devils out here are going to ever come towards us and say, I'll sit down with Commander General YAHANNA? Right? I am a Jew and a rabbi of this big synagogue. Where is Commanding General YAHANNA? I've heard of this man. I want to sit down with him and I'm going to show him the ropes. No, you ain't showing him nothing because the scriptures, because compulsive liars, they avoid confrontation with the truth. Hence, they just stick to lying. They just ignore that. Don't confront me with what I'm saying, right? Compulsive liars may or may not experience, a mental disorder, but they do have a mental disorder. They may not experience it, but they have a mental disorder. And the scripture gonna say it. Give me the scripture. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
The wicked is the so-called white man. The wicked are estranged from the womb. Come on.
They go astray as soon as they be born.
As soon as they come out, they go left.
Speaking lies.
Doing what?
Speaking lies.
What the scripture say?
Speaking lies.
Speaking lies, y'all. As soon as they come out, they speaking lies. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they come out. And goo goo gaga. Look, I've never heard a baby say that ever. Who the hell started that lie? I've never heard a baby say goo gaga. Have you heard a baby say goo goo gaga? Okay, cool. All right. Officer Shapar, you got children and babies. Have any of your babies ever said goo goo gaga? He may be focused on something right now. Okay. Good man. Our babies don't say goo goo gaga. We've never, I don't know who started that lie. Okay. But anyways. All right. So let's get Revelations 3:16.
Okay.
And we're going to end it with Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 4 and 8. Those two.
Okay. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 16.
Start at 15.
Verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot.
So the Lord say, I know your works. What's your works? You be BSing. The Lord know that you ain't cold or hot. Who knows what that means? Not you. Go ahead.
Lukewarm.
Right, lukewarm. Meaning, give me some more detail when you say lukewarm. When you say, you know, you cold or hot.
In the middle.
Right, I read the scripture earlier, right? Which said what?
On the fence. On the fence.
On the fence, which is you want to sacrifice what with devils, and then now you want to come serve the Lord. You can't do both, right? Those are all excellent answers. I'll keep going.
I would thou work cold or hot.
Right. So the Lord's saying, I wish you would make up your mind. I wish you would be cold or hot. I don't want you in here in the middle trying to serve me lukewarm. Keep going.
Verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm.
So because you in the middle and you lukewarm, keep going.
And neither cold nor hot.
And you don't know what you want to do. You don't know if you want to be with the Gentiles and serve devils and trim your ways or come serve the Lord. Keep going.
I will spew thee out of my mouth. Verse 17.
That's it. So the Lord said he's going to spew you out of his mouth, which means the Lord got a position for everybody in here to play. That's what you're doing in here, brothers and sisters. And if you don't go toward that office and work and do what you're supposed to, the Lord will get rid of you. The Lord will put a spirit on you, and you know, you better hope it's not I'm back in the street on crack or I'm out in the street prostituting, whatever. The Lord will put a spirit on you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make up your mind to serve the Lord and stay on point. You know what I'm saying? Which the scripture say what? That's straight and narrow. And few go through that. But the broad is the way, and wide is the gate that leads to destruction. But you want to be on that straight and narrow path to where you what? On these commandments, and you got your mind right about who your enemy is. You know what I'm saying? And don't follow their ways, because you'll be a liar. You'll have BPD. You'll have a borderline personality disorder, right? And then give me 1 Thessalonians 4:8. Mm-hmm.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 4, verse 8. He therefore that despiseth not man.
The word despise means to hate. So he who hates, you don't hate man. Tell them who they hate.
But God.
What?
But God.
You hate the Holy One of Israel. Keep going.
Who hath also given unto us his Holy Spirit.
Given unto us, meaning the priests and prophets of the Lord in the ISUPK. So they hating on us because the Lord gave us his spirit, which is a warring spirit, which is I don't trust you spirit. I'm only rolling with my own nation spirit, right? I'm not going to be a liar like the oppressor spirit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to stay in this truth, and I'm going to build my nation spirit. You see what I'm saying? They don't like you when you're doing that. They want you to waver and enjoy their, you know what I'm saying, enjoy they whatever falsitivities, call it falsitivities that they have set for you, which is a downfall for our people, man. Okay, so that's just a little bit on that lesson about Esau. With that, that'll conclude. We're gonna go ahead and pass the class over to Priest and Officer YAHANNA for the security announcements. Okay.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew. Ma'asharah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Purim, 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. Sunday, March 5th and Monday, March 6th of 2023. The book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And that concludes the security announcements.
All right. With that, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer. Stand. Let's stand up. All right. Face the east. Say the Lord's Prayer in ancient Paleo Hebrew. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Natananawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Manawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabaya'ah Nawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapa'ara, La'awalamyam, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Saw, turn to the front. Here's one salute to the brothers, men of Israel. I Madam Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yadi Matah. Turn to the sisters. Men of Israel, one courtesy salute to our sisters. I Madam Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yadi Matah. Class dismissed.